Before leaving Nevada to Arizona, I visited the Hoover Dam, a massive concrete structure that tamed the fierceness of the Colorado River for use and cost over 100 lives to build. On the hill above, a small stone wall provided protective cover for a machine gun during World War II. I couldn't help but think of the Pueblo dwellings I've visited on my journeys, like those in the Petrified National Park. The village of Puerco Pueblo, whose remains I wandered, housed about 200 people in the early 1300s. In an open plaza, they cooked and worked while sleeping in the surrounding buildings. The Petrified Forest, with its many colorful outcrops, hosts a vast wealth of treasures. Logs of trees over 200 million years old, buried in river channels by volcanic events, brought to the surface after eons of burial. Layer after layer of rock freezing moments in time. Listen and you can hear them. The trees tell their stories. After camping for the night, I drove south through the astonishing canyon to the Apache Reservation. From the mountain forests to the Sonoran Desert.
This is really in my mind what I pictured when I thought of the desert Southwest. Got these amazing mountains in the distance, all these saguaros, gigantic cacti, cactus all over the place, these giant yucca bushes, and just all these amazing things. This is such an alien landscape for me. I've grown up in arid regions in eastern Montana, but it's a very different experience. It reminds me of it in some ways, but in others it's just completely alien. So I think I'm gonna spend a little bit of time about 80 miles north of Tucson out here, just kind of wandering some of the BLM land, flying the drone and just exploring the landscape and go film some new ecosystems that I've never really gotten the chance to explore before. So come join me.
A dance between water and life. Harsh, arid beauty abounds. Existence for desert plants depends on finding water and holding water. Some live year-round, others lay dormant in the ground as seeds, waiting for the rare flood to spring to life and flower. The Sonoran landscape is a paradox, barren but lush and vibrant. Paradise in another form. Spines protecting the prickly pear's reserves of desert gold. After my exploring, I drove further south to Saguaro National Park.
Alright, well I'm in Saguaro National Park. This is a national park in southeastern Arizona that is fairly famous for its gigantic saguaros, which are the largest cacti in the world. I'm going to be hiking the Cactus Forest Trail, which then will kind of loop into the Javelina Wash Trail. Just kind of wander this place and film a lot of the cacti and show you some of these just incredible arid wonders of nature. So come join me.
Saguaro National Park is a desert Eden with 25 different species of cactus alone. Improbable growth in the harshest of conditions. A friend once told me the desert keeps you honest. On this hike, I could feel what he meant. The desert plants know no pretense. The saguaros are the redwoods of the Sonora Desert, often living to over 150 years old and towering over the desert floor. On the hike, I often had my breath taken away by these spiny survivors. Large woody bushes were oddly breathtaking, hardy and probable growth. Roots seeking life in barren ground. To borrow a famous phrase, life finds a way. The beauty of the desert is a beauty of intensity, astonishing resilience in overwhelming conditions. And above them all, the saguaros keep watch. The Cactus Forest Trail was a beautiful journey through the desert jungle and brought me to Javelina Wash, the next step of this hike.
All right, first half of the trail down. That whole area was just super beautiful and it's crazy how different desert life is. It just exists in its own kind of domain, requiring all sorts of very, very special, strange adaptations. So the second half of this is going down Javelina Wash, and Javelinas, I'm pretty sure, are referring to a species of peccary that exists in Arizona and New Mexico, these kind of wild pig-like creatures. A favorite staple of the jaguar, which also exists in Arizona, New Mexico sometimes. More about that in a future episode. So we're gonna go down this area and follow this back to the original trail.
The Javelina Wash, bringing me back north, was a little less spectacular than the Cactus Forest Trail, but still provided beautiful glimpses of desert life and pleasantly solitary walking. Just off the trail, a saguaro titan with arms larger than many of the trunks I've seen on the trails. Saguaro National Park was an amazing glimpse into the diversity of life in the Sonoran Desert, and I had a great time wandering its trails in wonder. In the next video, I visit the Santa Rita Mountains in Arizona, where one of the first jaguars in the United States in more than a century made its home range. I then joined a friend hiking the astonishing Oregon Mountains by Las Cruces, New Mexico. Until then, wander in wonder.